WCS Europe, well, WCS Austin European Qualifier #1. It's kind of a mouthful. It's a long title here, but we'll get the hang of it. We have 4 more days to practice. We'll be back tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I'll be here with Todd. Then we have 1 day off, and then of course Friday and Saturday we'll have the main challenger. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an incredibly stacked bracket. Can't wait to cast it together with Todd. But for now, let's focus on the matchup that we ended up with. It's going to be Optimus versus Bly. Now, before Twitch chat says, oh my god, of course! Rather than picking the Dutch player, what a surprise! Guys, it's not that black and white. We actually had Naruto from TvZ. He asked to please cast Lambo versus Daishi, so if you guys truly want to watch that match, you can do it over at the German stream. And this way we can show multiple games that I think are all pretty damn awesome, so they deserve to be shown. So I thought this was the best solution instead of both casters doing the same game. I thought that would be a little bit silly. And now the German caster can cast the German player, and the Dutch one can catch the Dutch one, which makes me happy as well. Over here on the left top side, we're looking in the main base of one of the up-and-comers of the European scene. It's Optimus. Was at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice as well. Unfortunately didn't have a very good run there. Had a super close series in that open bracket against Sort of. We showed a couple glimpses of it at the main stream, and every time we looked at it, the game was just mad. The game on Proxima, they both had, you know, almost no supply anymore, and everything was burning down. It was awesome. Let's see if he can go all the way today. Over here on the right bottom side, we're looking at one of the most old school players there is in StarCraft 2. It's been around since day 1 of the beta. It's Bly. Now Bly has traditionally not been incredibly strong in ZVT. It's always been a matchup where he's been struggling a little bit. Every now and then he would have a really good build, but then it would just, you know, take some time, and then a couple of the Terrans would figure it out. And then at a certain point, Bly seemed to struggle a little bit more in this matchup than he would struggle in some of the other matchups. I mean, most notably, I think Marine Lord absolutely had Bly's number, not at 1 or 2 occasions, but at multiple occasions. On the other end, Optimus, I've been talking a lot about him, like, Roddy, why do you hype up this guy so much? You know, he hasn't really done that much. I know, like, I know the results haven't truly been there yet, but Optimus truly is an up-and-comer. I think he's a talented player, he has cool builds, big fan of the Reapers, and obviously he has another very strong Terran to learn from in the name of Uthermal. All the Dutch players are good friends with each other. I'm sure they help each other out a little bit. So it's kind of funny, because at the same time, even though Bly is not a star in ZVT, Optimus' weakest matchup is TvZ as well. He relies a lot on Reapers. If he doesn't get the Reapers, this is frustrating already, as the first links start nibbling away on both SCVs, as Optimus was busy microing his Reapers on the other side of the map. So that means the barracks was delayed, and the factory is now delayed as well. And I'm not sure if these Reapers actually got the scouting job done. Did they see the Roadrunner? No, they did not. So once again, this is Bly in a ZVT. Things in general go a little different once you start casting Bly. It could just be defensively though, the Roadrunner, because he knows he's playing against Optimus, Mr. Reaper himself. Loves Reapers almost as much as Uthermal loves them. And a couple of those other dirty Terrans out there. Yeah, maybe it's just defensive, and it makes sense. It's kind of an interesting build. I mean, it wasn't really like a 3 racks, or it wasn't a proxy either, but it was a Reapers out of a reactor. It's kind of funny. It seems like Optimus is so stuck to his Reapers that even if he can't go for the all-out Reaper opening like he used to, perhaps, like all the other Terrans do it, as these Roaches and Ravages did make their way across the map. No idea how I missed that, but they somehow did. That's a good Reaper grenade though. The SCVs, no, the SCVs are working on the plates. No! Those are the buildable rocks. The Reaper, they could have totally trapped it. And I think that was kind of the plan there. No, that crossbow possibly connect with a whole bunch of SCVs. 7 SCVs went down. And for a split second I thought Bly just made the Roadrunner in case of safety. But no. I was too busy following Reapers around that I actually missed those 6 Roaches running across the map. 7 SCVs is good. But is that enough? Well, I guess we're not done yet. One low HP Roach was morphed into a Ravager as well. It's kind of rough, because obviously the Marines don't have the range. This is a nice little battle there about positioning. Love it. Seems like Optimus had enough, and he's just gonna walk on right on top of these roaches, avoids that cross the bow as well. And it's safe to say that he's safe now. He's down 17 workers, and obviously that looks disastrous, but there is a very big but here, and the big but, it's not mine, even though it's big. It's the fact that Bly is not teched up yet. He doesn't have a layer. So the moment that Stim is done, the moment that medevacs are out, that's where Optimus will have all the opportunity in the world to start evening things out a little bit. Right now it looks dicey, but the moment Stim is done, the moment medevacs are out, that's the first medevac, it should be very doable for a Terran that's as good as Optimus to find an opening, because the units of Bly simply are not meant to deal with too much medevac aggression. If they're in the right place at the right time and standing right below the medevac, then it's all fine. But if you have to bounce around from one base to the other, that's where these units will just generally be a little too slow. It's very important Optimus keeps his medevac on full HP as well. Instead, actually, Bly just jumps on top of these Marines. I think Optimus was mostly worried there about the Queens going for the medevac. And Bly just switched it around, went for those Marines instead, immediately picked off 4. So very solid defense by Bly. Yeah, that was incredibly well done by Bly. Units were in the right position. They were still coming in, but he just kind of focused those Marines down almost immediately. This is far from over though. Bly knows that as well. Infestation Pit is down as the layer has just now finished up. But it's safe to say Optimus needs to get something done. Just having one medevac obviously made it hard. Now he's going to have more medevacs. I don't think he's going to run across the map with the tank. Probably want to leave the tank at home, because you are still playing against Bly. And perhaps this is the moment then. That first medevac, unfortunately for the Dutch Terran, was not able to get much done at all. Now it's about medevac number 2 and 3. Good circling there on the Zelnaga Watchtower door by Bly. That's going to just alert him. It's going to tell him where these Marines and medevacs are. Kind of a silly donation there. Bly actually wants to go up to 4 bases. That's very, very ambitious. Ah, good job there by Optimus. You saw him running back. He's like, no, I want him to take it. I want him to lose those 75 minerals. I don't just want to cancel it. I want to get some extra value out of my drop. And he was able to get it. Now Bly gets a couple of roaches and ravages. So Optimus is keeping Bly on 3 bases. However, the work account is still... I wouldn't say dramatically low or critically low, but it's kind of low for Optimus. He will have 3 CCs landed soon, as soon as he takes care of this silly Ling. This massive command center is like, ah, nope, can't land. This is Zergling. We can do many things, but we can absolutely not land on top of a Zergling. That's animal cruelty. And these badass Navy SEALs show up and like, we'll take care of that. As the drop is unloaded in the main base, but once again, Bly has enough units here. Optimus is a player that, once again, what I like about Optimus, and obviously about a lot of high-level Terrans, I don't want to make this a unique Optimus thing, is that I feel they got a lot more careful with their drops, and they got mostly careful with the amount of HP that get on the medevacs. Because eventually a drop will be ended if either the drop dies or the medevac is too low to return. But these guys, these Terrans, they get so incredibly good in calculating the damage, in seeing in advance from where the Queens could potentially start, you know, hitting those medevacs, or make sure that you avoid crossabouts, make sure you don't fly into a spore. And that's going to keep these medevacs active for a very, very long time. And that just makes it super frustrating as a Zerg, because you're just like, God, you know, like, can we at least trade? Like, for my part, you kill 4 drones, I just want to get rid of the medevac. But that just doesn't happen against guys that play at the level of, you know, Optimus, Uthermal. Liberator is going to be annoying here. Double Liberator is a little too much for one Queen to deal with. Spore gets repositioned. Bly already having Ultras on the way as the high finished up. Has a couple of Infestors out. These Infestors have quite a bit of energy by now, I assume. So unfortunately for Bly, he wasn't able to get the 4th base, which is obviously what he was dreaming of. But he will get Ultras. This push, however, could potentially hit before Chitinous Plating, and Ultras without Chitinous. Well, that's one. Well, I mean, they're still going to be strong. Spy even getting a Spire now as well. Well, he's just getting a little bit of everything. He doesn't have really any upgrades on the Roaches other than Carapace, but no attack upgrades. 5 Ultras though is a crazy amount of Ultras. Couple of infestors here as well. 1 or 2 fungos can completely turn this game upside down. I like this by Bly. He's going for a counter attack. That's a good move, as this base is very, very, very exposed. Meanwhile, Optimus is still dropping in the main, still keeping those units alive. And now he's going to try to slowly but steadily leapfrog forward, but a good fungal there. A couple of decent crosser balls as well, connecting with 7-8 Marines. And look at these SCVs. They're in a lot of trouble, as these Marines were sleeping on the job. Bly is playing great StarCraft now. Actually making a lot of correct choices, buying time. And if this goes on a little longer, chitinous plating will actually be done. And we are looking at 5 Ultras over here, guys. Oh, that's a good combo as well, of course, about and fungal. This counterattack of Bly just completely ravaged Optimus. And Bly actually looks dominating over here in game number 1. This is not that much that Optimus can do anymore, perhaps just a little too far behind early on. Good use of Burrow there on these links as well. Bly is just kind of picking Optimus apart. He's forcing to stay. Oh my god, this is one infestor. Behind enemy lines. Bly is gonna set up a concave now. This army is just not that big. There aren't that many Marines left. Multiple Marines died already. Good job there with the infested Terrans as well. And Optimus doesn't even want to see his beautiful Terran forces die. He'll just tap out. That was a really good game by Bly. There's no other way to put it. Early on, with the Roaches and the Ravagers, killed a lot of SCVs, sneaked them across the map. Optimus didn't see them. I didn't see them, so that says enough. Optimus is busy first with those links, was distracted. Then he went back trying to do something with his Reapers. And then it's only knock knock, who's there? And it's not 6 Zerglings, which is pretty annoying. 6 Roaches, it's a lot more annoying. It's like when you're at home, alone. Number 3. Used to just be one evil guy, and then suddenly there's a whole bunch of them. It's like, no, Kevin. We are getting ready to hop in game number 2. It's going to be Proxima. Proxima is a, needless to say, a map where I think it's a lot harder to pull something off like that than it is on Belcher. I think this map has macro written all over it. Pocket expand. I mean, we haven't, I won't say we haven't seen it in a while. I'm not sure if that's true. In and out, right? Like every now and then, most of the time we have like one map in the map pool that has a pocket expand. And it just makes it very hard to cheese in general on these maps, because you only need one wall off. And then what makes it even worse on Proxima is that there's kind of only one direct attack path, at least early on. Eventually, this is a map that can truly blossom, in my opinion, when it comes to beautiful macro games, because you can knock down rocks pretty much everywhere. I mean, where not? There is 2 rocks in your first 3 bases, and then when you want to take your 4th, there's a rock on the north side, or potentially a rock towards the gold. So there's plenty of debris or rocks, however you want to call it, to be knocked down. But early on, generally there's only one way, and that's down your ramp, up your opponent's ramp, and that's very easy to scout, and that's why you don't see that much early cheese on this map. And that should be in favor of Optimus, but Bly looked good in that last game, so what do I know? Roddy has the wheel. Well, buckle up. Buckle up then, guys. I say buckle up. Tuck in those seatbelts. Buckle up. Because the admin just said I have the wheel. And with my driving record, you want to get out of the car. I do know that much. Bly says he's ready. Optimus is ready. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. The admin was just referring to me being in charge. That's the only time I'm in charge, when he leaves me to it. That's like when you go out with your friends and they all want to drink and they're like, you don't drink, right? You can drive us home. Okay, I'll drive us home. Proxima it is, game number 2. Optimus vs Bly. Bly took a 1-0 lead. Round of 16, guys. We're actually getting pretty close towards the end. We still have a couple of great series, so you definitely don't want to go anywhere. The winner of this series, I have to think hard, because it's definitely not sure yet, because we're not that far into the bracket. But the next match is basically a qualifier match, because this is a round of 16. If you obviously advance from the round of 16, you're in the round of 8. And the top 4 of today will qualify for Friday. Okay, the winner is actually going to play against Mana, so that's going to be a great game regardless. As the producer just told me. That Mana has been just rushing through his bracket. I bet he's been cheesing all along. We saw him on Proxima. That dirty Polish Protoss. Anyways, over here on the left bottom side, we're looking in the main base of our Dutch Terran. There's only one Terran so far in Challenger, Europe that is. Can we get a second one? It's Optimus. If Optimus would qualify, and I say if, because right now things are looking a little dicey, since this man looked dominating in game number 1. He did it in typical Bly fashion. Sneaked roaches across the map that even I missed. There's only one man in the world that wouldn't have missed them. And that's Funka. But right now we're looking at the main base of Bly, who's taking a forward expand. I would say I'm not surprised. Of course, could just be for creep spread, because if you take your natural here, it's going to be actually quite hard to properly spread creep later on, especially against a player like Optimus. We know that Optimus loves Reapers. This is pretty much the worst Reaper map since... what was it? Terrible, the Reaper map. The previous map wasn't actually, like the Dream map wasn't that good for Reapers either, but I'd say Whirlwind is pretty bad for Reapers, right? Because it's very obvious where they're coming from. But this is even worse. There's only one entrance over here, and you just can't hop in anywhere. I mean, if Reapers could hop here, then this would be the Dream Reaper map, but that's not the case. So, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of Reapers of Optimus, and I guess Bly is not that worried about it. So we see the SCV Scout instead. Kind of interesting that we do see an SCV Scout. Did Optimus scout all the way over here? What did he do with his Reaper? I guess he's just worried about some early game shenanigans. Boop, boop. Well, there shouldn't be too much potential in this single Reaper. It will all come down to the later phase of this game. If you can get a drone, that would be awesome. But in general, you're not supposed to get a drone. Players like Bly will do their best to save it, temporarily morph it into a Spore Crawler, and then you can always unmorph it again. As the starport has been thrown down, this time there's going to be more aggression early on. I think for Optimus to make this series go his way, that's a fast layer. Or fast, as Pig would say. Pig would definitely say it's very fast. 3 minutes, sharp. It's going to be hard for Optimus to figure this one out, because once again, this is just a terrible Reaper map. The only way to get into the main base is via this little entrance, this ramp where you can hop here, but it doesn't really make much difference. So, well, perhaps he can spot it with his Hellions. There's going to be a... I hope this, if this is a Raven, that's probably not the best scenario ever. It's not the end of the world, because Ravens can be useful defensively. You can drop another turret, can buy you a couple of seconds against Miras. You can still sneak a Raven across the map. It's kind of like the same logic that, you know, applies to like Oracle against Phoenix in PvP is terrible, obviously for the Oracle player. But if you can somehow sneak it across the map and you just wait until you know the Phoenix is not there anymore, you can still do some damage. Maybe if the Raven can avoid a Miras, it can still be decent. But right now, I'm really not sure if Optimus is thinking about this. See the armory being thrown down as well. Okay. Maybe he's been watching that Beastie stream. Potentially more of these Hellions into Hellbats, of course, with the armory. And can still play Bio later, but as far as I know, Optimus is not a mech player at all, and will most likely still not be mech. I'm expecting to see a tech lab being added soon. Probably just more of these bad boys into Hellbats. As this Raven is making his way across the map. Spire is only halfway done, so there is potential for other turrets to be annoying. I wonder if you would have 2 auto turrets. No, that's too much. I wonder how many auto turrets is needed to kill a Spire. There's a couple of Zerglings here as well. Good job there by Bly, though. I have to give credit where credit is due, and so far I feel Bly's units has pretty much always been in the right position. This time, however, he doesn't have Roaches, and he doesn't have Banelings. So dealing with 5-6 Hellbats is actually pretty damn difficult. One Queen just gets roasted over there. Oh, he's morphing them back into Hellions. This could be the moment for those Zerglings that were left behind in the main to maybe go for it. Oh, he's gonna morph them into Hellbats, but that doesn't... It's gonna take a little while. In the end, most of the Lings do get roasted. Auto turrets doing some work there as well. 9 drones have gone down. I almost kind of wish that he would have just ran them into the main. And of course you have to worry about these Mudas popping out and eventually sniping the Hellbats and the Raven as well. But or maybe just try to get 1 or 2 volleys off as regular Hellions, because his Hellion count was so high that unless there would be a full surround, those Hellions could probably just roast the Lings in their regular phase, and then he could always still morph them into Hellbats if that's what he would desire to do so. Now instead, let's see how much NTR there is on the other side of the map. 6 Marines and a Viking. Missile turret is almost up, but not done totally yet. This is going to be annoying. These Mutas are going to wreak havoc here. 1 Viking is taking quite a bit of damage, and is actually going to fall, but not before a single Muda will go down as well. I guess that's not 2 Mudas have gone down. Excuse me. It's not that bad. 2 Mudas for a Viking. A couple of SCVs have got picked off. But I think this is an okay scenario for Optimus. He's gonna have to survive. These are annoying seconds when your marine count isn't high enough and you don't have stim yet. Like, this is when they will just run you around, and you know you're going to lose a couple of workers. It's kind of inevitable, and there is nothing you can do about it. The big deal here is just make sure you don't lose too many. You know, when you can lose 5, 6, 7, okay, that stinks. But if you can get a couple of Mudas in return, then it's really not that bad. Oh, stim. Stim was actually done. He didn't stim there. I mean, obviously he doesn't have combat shield, so I do understand he's very low on HP and there were no medevacs, but kind of would have liked to see. I think if he would have stimmed there, he should have got at least 1 Muda. Bly is throwing down his Baneling Nest now. He does have double Evo chamber as 1-1 upgrades are on the way. Still finding openings with his Mudas. I'm impressed with Bly's play, actually. For the people who are wondering perhaps about the MMR of these players, as you know, both of them were obviously trying to get into that top 8 as well, and they are players that have absolutely been in the top 8 of the ladder at least a while ago. Optimus right now I think is hovering around 6.5k, like 6,550, something like that, and Bly is at like 6,650, so they're both incredibly high up there. Ooh, he could drop and stim. Oh, if he loses the full medevac, that would be disastrous. And he does lose the medevac with 4 or 5 Marines in it. These Banelings rolled in the natural as well. That was good by Bly. Those Banelings distracted Optimus. I mean, I wonder if that was like absolutely on purpose or not, putting those Mudas there, but I guess to some degree it was. I mean, there's only so many ways that the medevacs can take to the other side of the map. Great interception. That was super clutch. Otherwise, I think it would be kind of hard to hold the fort base if you have to worry about 16, 18 Marines with stim, +1 combat shield. Like, that's actually very hard to keep your fort base alive. This time the Mudas are a little too eager and 3 will get picked off. But without bailing speed, that would have been hard. Another Marine count is suddenly a lot lower. Optimus is paying attention. Oh my god, that poor Marine. No! Wow. Bly gets that medevac as well with all 8 Marines. Bly's just dominating this series. There's no other way to put it. Now, there is a small drop in the main. And this time there were no links immediately there, but there is a few. But I think it's a successful drop, I'd say. It's 6 drones. 6 drones and a queen, and I would have called it a success. No, it's a C-. Oh, the medevac lives. So that actually makes it a little better. You just got upgraded. Just got bumped. C+, at least. Multiple barracks being added here for Optimus as he's getting his 2-2 upgrades on the way. Bly's playing Mutiling Banestar. Bly has no idea at all about this drop that came from the south side. Mudas are super far out of position. There are Banelings rolling around though, and the Banelings will save the day for now. But again, 5 drones, and that's absolutely what Optimus needed to kind of just claw his way back into the game. He's gonna send 2 more medevacs. Can this Zergling spot it? Oh my god, you're kidding me. What? That Ling. Lings truly need binoculars upgrade. That drop that's just flying towards the main now, I mean, this is a lot of Mudas. This is something that Optimus absolutely has to respect. And the majority of his Marines are actually out of position. That's not enough Marines, I think. I mean, they have 1-1 upgrade, so maybe Bly doesn't want to fight it. I actually think if Bly knew that almost all of the Marines were making their way to the other side of the map, I think he may have just gone for it. This drop is going to do a lot of damage. The Mudas also had enough. They just went for the missile turret now, and now they indeed kind of go for the Marines and go for a couple of the SCVs. Zerglings are coming. Will the Spire fall? Yes, it does. Massive pickoff there. Got the Queen, got a couple drones, got the Extractor. At the same time, Optimus still being annoying over here in the right bottom side as well. He even got the spawning pool. Completely missed that when we were looking at the Mudas. This time those Marines will get cleaned up. 15 SCVs went down, but overall, you gotta love these trades for a Terran. Even though I think that these... he needs to unload these Marines right now, because the Mudas are hunting. They're sniffing. Dup. These are still... That's a lot of Marines, Bly. 2 medevacs, 1-1 Marines soon. I mean, he cleans it up, but... Whew, lost more than a Muda there, that's for sure. Yeah, you gotta love these trades for Optimus, I'd say. Even though Bly did keep his fort base alive, but losing the Spire, not getting that +2 attack upgrade, that kind of stinks. See ya, Burrow. Oh, he does have Burrow. I love it. That's some good stuff. Optimus obviously worried about it as he throws down a scan. Bly's probably very sad. He's like, now you go through the rocks? Really, man? You want to play that game? The 2 flanking banks could be a thing as well, though. Scan gets thrown down. A couple of creep tumors do get picked off. Oh, I mean, it's quite a bit bigger for Optimus, but, you know, with good enough bailing connections, you could say that the dream is alive. I would have loved to see Bly maybe take out those rocks, because then he could have a sick engagement. I love the spread on the mines. However, if you want to leapfrog all these mines, it's going to take you a little while. Bly's counterattacking again, but actually gets pretty decent. Traps a couple of Marauders. Bly's going to send his first batch of units forward. Not the connections I think he was truly hoping for, and most of those mines were not triggered yet either. 17 Mutas are in production. Oh my god. I mean, he lost the Poo and he lost the Spire, so I guess he just couldn't spend his money at all. You don't want to fight when you've got 17 Mutas on the way. If he can just clean it. There's only 22 Marines. I mean, there's a bunch of Widow Mines though. The counterattack's still doing damage as well, but obviously this is not the time to look into the natural as the Banelings are looking for connections. That Muta count suddenly just exploded. Optimus is probably like, oh my god, you know. You had like 9 Mutas before. And now suddenly we're looking at 23. Oh, Widow Mines. Nope, all of the mines pretty much fired. And Optimus is actually just in trouble. Now these Mutas gonna chase it down, and this Muta count is so high. Reinforcements have arrived though. There is a Tor in the mix, Widow Mines. Actually splashed kind of over the Marines. More friendly fire there. One medevac, excuse me, is a little low on unloading. All of these medevacs are so low in HP, but all the Lings and Banes are gone. This is a real slugfest. Oh my god. If this was an actual fighting match, they would both be knockout right now. Double KO. Perfectly timed. Wait a mine. Does not get a shot off. Drilling Claws. Oh! Oh my god, the other mine. I think lost high ground vision there. Drilling Claws is done, by the way. I wasn't just asking for it, guys. I mean, no hive, no infestation. Well, there is an infestation bit actually. Is there a hive? Am I wrong? No, no hive. Optimus kind of needs a fort though. Optimus agrees. He's gonna send over his Orbito. He's gonna try to take the gold. This obviously means it's not gonna be a planetary. Uh-oh, SCVs are gonna be transferred. Get your clip ready. Bly! 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 No! You're supposed to be the chosen one. Aw. What a shame. Oh. They were almost going back. That could have been the moment. Few more! Nope, does not go for it. Link's putting the army. Okay, in the end he does get. He just rolled them in. 7, I guess. Actually, did a lot of damage to those mines. Look at the SCVs. They're like, oh my god! We're under fire. We were not meant for this. God, this meter count is ridiculous. Feels even more. It's 22. I don't know about you. Sorry, guys. Yeah, good job. Wow, these Lings actually doing more damage. There's no missile turrets here. Now all of those mines actually are forced to reposition. The mines just not getting any decent shots up at all. A little bit unfortunate there for Optimus, but he does still have a ridiculous amount of Zerglings. Where are the Banelings? If Bly would have just had a bunch of Banelings there. Oh my god, he's gonna be careful. He will take care of that mine. Now he gets on top of the reactor. That's nice. A couple of Marines will get dropped. There is a missile turret to assist these Marines. They've been stimming like crazy. This is a really fun, action-packed game. Optimus fighting for his dear life. Like I said, guys, Proxima has macro written all over it. How many workers have died in this game? 33. I thought it was a lot more than that. 30 drones on the other side as well. Ooh. I love the burrowed Banes everywhere. I kind of feel like Bly is slowly but steady truly swarming his opponent. He's just setting up traps left, right, and center. 2 more Banes. I'm gonna roll for glory. And these Mutas are looking for this medevac that were spotted by the other burrowed Banes. More Banelings rolling in. Bly is playing some really great late game StarCraft here. Getting 13 more kills. Mutas. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Even if they unload, this Muta count is too high. Like, I know Marines are good against Mutas and all, but well, Bly, you're supposed to fight with all the Mutas. Bly, I just gave you so many compliments. Bly, Okay, Bly's actually going for the big attack. Bly doesn't care because Optimus was not paying attention either. He was probably looking at the fight like I was. And just like that, Bly rolled forward with like 100 Banes. Oh god. And that's it. Bly advances to the quarterfinals, which is basically the final of this tournament. Because all you need to do is place top 4. Takes out Optimus 2-0. One, well, you could say early on a little bit cheesy with the Ravages, game 1, but he still went up to Ultras. In game 2, just madness. Bly. That's what it was. I was like, what is he looking at? It's like Bly, the Mutas. And I saw drones were being transferred. I was like, you know, like saturating your fifth base in the right bottom side, that's pretty important. But losing out these Mutas is painful, and suddenly I see the mini-map and you just see the swarm. It's coming. It's like, oh my god. And Optimus was obviously not ready for it. And I think then all we saw, guys, was a big explosion. The graphics on my screen are really funny. You should take a look at it. Can you switch to my screen real quick? That'd be awesome. This was the fight, guys. Like death happens on both sides. Suicide units and units that can also suicide other units. Well done by Bly. Good job advancing to the run of 8. Maybe we have another game ready immediately. I'm ready to actually just jump in another game. This series got me going, guys. It's been over 5 years, I think, since I've done like solo cast like this. But I'm getting into it. I love it. It's great. Can I cast something? Anything available? Maybe DNS or maybe mana. We can have 2Ps for you. Ugh. Not many things in life that I like more than 2Ps. Let's go. Any match that's ready. Poor Optimus. Riding me. He said the last match was really trashy by me. And he also mentioned that in the end he was not paying attention when Bly rolled in. He told me that, you know, he was sniping the Mutas. Well, I know. So. Okay, so I'm just waiting, guys. We'll probably do. I'm not sure if DNS Hero Marine. No. Wow, DNS Lambo. That's a great game. I'd love to cast that game. Okay. So we actually already know. Wow, Drogo is still. Drogo is playing these games from Korea, and he's actually in the quarterfinals. He's one map away from qualifying to Challenger. We can take a look at the bracket, actually. Let's do it. So we're waiting for a game. Serral took care of the Protoss that I already said could not hold, surrounded by that much swarm. So Serral's going to go up against Guru for a match in the WCS EU Challenger. And then over here we've got Drogo, who's going to go up against the winner of the Maga and Hino. Our French Zerk, who also was at Katowice, so it's going to be a PvZ for Drogo. That's better than PvT if you have a lot of latency. Mana will go up against Bly. That's a classic, man. Those two guys have been duking it out with each other since 2010. And then the last qualifying match is Lambo versus DNS. That's awesome. I think we're going to do 2 of the 4 games here on the main stream. Because obviously we cannot do every match one by one, because that would mean that one of the other guys has to wait like right now for an hour and 45 minutes. That's just a little too much. So if it's up to me, I mean, we've seen plenty of TvZ already. I love Serral, don't get me wrong. I think Serral is fantastic, but I think we're going to see a lot of Serral on Friday and Saturday when we do the bracket stage of WCS Austin, Challenger, Europe, the Magic Show. So I'm pretty sure we'll see plenty of Serral, and there's going to be plenty of Zergs there as well. As already 5 Zergs qualified, so I'd say we should do DNS, Lambo. I think it's going to be a great game. And we haven't seen anything of DNS yet today. And then maybe Mana Bly as well. I think that would be great. So I think we're almost good to go. I will just ask the admin real quick how long this is going to take. How long? Perhaps you guys should take a look at that fantastic recent announcement that we recently had. I think everybody that loves RTS games is pretty damn excited about this. I have never really played StarCraft Brood War in my life, and I know that's a shame for somebody that has been playing StarCraft 2 for the last 7 years, pretty much every single day, if not casting it or watching it. I played approximately 5 games of Brood War in my life, but I'm pretty damn excited for this.